Well, good morning. How y'all doing? I'm sitting out here on the porch. This is my favorite spot in the house, and just finally settling in. And I was sitting out here watching the birds and the nest and all of that, and Mr. came out, and somebody asked me if he would be willing to talk about his experience as a husband, with my solo travel. And so I asked, and he said, yeah. So today we're going to talk about how my solo travel, how it's affected, I guess, our marriage, how he feels about it. We don't have any set questions or anything. We were just sitting out here, and I said, hey, do you want to talk about it right now? And he said, yeah, all right, sure. So everybody meet Mr. Good morning, husband.
Hey, good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. It's a good morning.
That's good. Yes. That's good. So solo travel, it's like this was a big trip.
Yes, it was.
A big trip. How have you felt? I know, so I know certain things, but they don't know certain things. So let's talk about when I first... Should we go back to Thailand? Because that was in Hong Kong?
I don't know. We might need to go back to... when you went to
Seattle. Okay, run it back.
I think Seattle was the first time that you went on a trip.
It was
that far away by yourself. It was obviously a shorter time frame, but I think at that point in time in our marriage and the conversations we were having and how you were feeling, your desire to travel and kind of get away to reset. I understood what you were expressing to me, and I wanted you to have an opportunity to go and do that. And I won't lie, I think it was a rough patch for us at that time because we were going through a lot of different things, and there were some conversations that were had, and about the intentions and the motives of going on the trip that were touchy and kind of difficult, but through it all, I think the primary objective for me was to allow you that space to go and travel and get away and be able to reset and come home in a better disposition to help foster a better environment for us. And again, I won't lie, it was tough. The husband and protector in me, wants to be with you to make sure you're safe and okay, and that nothing happens to you. But I think the openness that I have and the trust that I have with you allowed me to kind of put that aside and allow you to go and having things in place to make sure that we keep communication open, that we can talk. And I can't lie, even back on that one, you were doing things that while I was here, while you were there, that had me be like, what are you doing? Like when you were driving back or driving at night.
To Leavenworth.
And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, I want you to be smart while you're out there. Like, especially if you're not with me, be like, it's one thing if you want to do that when you're with me, right? Because, I have that sense that I can keep you safe. But you out there doing it yourself. And the way you expressed it to me, I was like, what are you doing?
Wait a minute. So hold on. So a little bit of backstory. When I went to Seattle, it was December of 2023. We had gone to taken an Alaskan cruise together in October of 2023, and we ported out of Seattle. So I had fallen in love with the area, and like he said, it was a rough time in our marriage, and I was ready to relocate. I wanted to run away and reset and just leave it all. So I went back out there, and I found out about this like Bavarian village, this town that's about an hour east of Seattle, and it's called Leavenworth. And like I said, it's December, so it's the Christmas season, and they say it's like, ironically, shortly after my visit there was a segment on Good Morning America, and they voted it the most Christmassy town in America. But y'all, so it's Christmas. When do you see the lights? At night, right? So in my infinite wisdom, I decided I was gonna leave Seattle. So I had rented a car my whole stay. I think I was out there 6 days or so. So I rented a car, or I had already rented a car. I got in the car and I drove, and I left the Seattle area probably about 3-something, 4 in the afternoon. Well, the sun set quickly. I didn't do my research like I do now, and I was on this road, and I was up in the mountains, and it was the most terrifying experience that I think I have ever had, because I was driving at night in an unfamiliar area, pitch black, because I'm in these mountains, and just like, oh my goodness. But when I got to Leavenworth, I was like, whoa, it was all worth it. But I said, you know what? I can't go back tonight. I cannot do that. And so I scrambled to find a hotel, motel, some lodging for the night, because I refused to drive back. My nerves couldn't handle it. So I checked into a little motel that was so old school, it actually had a key for the door. And I felt like it was like I was in Stranger Things or something, and wood panels on the walls, but it was very clean. So this is what he's referring to. So made it back. All right. So then.
So yeah, this is it been a new experience, right? It just it was just all the things. It just hit on all the things that I was like, But again, I think the trust and faith that I have in you having traveled with you, I kind of know how you move and shake, and that you're gonna make sure that you're gonna do your best to be safe and make good decisions. So, it all worked out well, and you made it back. And so it was. All in all, I think it was the beginning of those types of experiences where I was, and we learned things from it for the next time, right? To how because I think when you went to Thailand, we were a little bit more involved but it was involved too, because you were going for the cohort retreat, and so I knew that you were going to be there with people that you had already engaged with,
but only for a small
period
of time. Yeah.
And everything else, the planning of everything else that you were doing, you kept me in the loop about where you were staying, how long you were staying, how you were planning to navigate around, and all those types of things. So I felt as though, even though I wasn't going to be there, I had a good understanding of where you were going to be, on what time frame, so I knew what to expect, and then and again, making sure that we had communication in place, right? How frequently we're going to talk, how we're going to check in, so I think that's the main thing, is establishing that cadence of communication, so that I feel secure that everything's okay. And with the time difference, right? Because if I believe correctly, was that the one where we were like completely, like almost 12 hours?
Yeah, we were 12 and 13 hours apart at that time.
My morning was your evening, and
right.
Your evening was my morning, and vice versa. And so again, I think it's just knowing what the agenda and the plan of where you were going to be, what days you were going to be where you were going to be staying, what you were going to be doing, and just establishing, you know, the cadence of checking in and communication, whether it be just a text message or a FaceTime if we could or whatever, is I think the critical part of it that makes it worthwhile. Also, this was also another trip that was not just personal fun. It was business related.
Yeah.
Right? And so obviously supporting you building and growing a business, you know, I'd absolutely want to be supportive of that and allow you the opportunity to engage in things that will help you on that path. And so again, you know, you're over in Hong Kong and Thailand, and you know, in my mind, all I can think about is, you know, you getting trafficked or something, you know. And so, but I try to keep putting that stuff aside and just know that we put things in place and that you're a conscientious enough traveler to be aware of things and not get caught up in stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so that helps with some of the worry, but I can't lie, if I don't, you know, the thought doesn't go through my mind at times. And but again, I think that's just how we kind of manage through it. And
So one other thing that I did, so we use Apple products, you know, he can see my location, we have shared locations and things.
Yeah.
But then I also bought an air tag that I kept on my person. So in the event that I lost my phone or something, I had an air tag that they could see my location, and I wore it like a Pandora charm on my wrist, and I had it, you know, I didn't go outside without it. And so that was just an additional precaution, you know. I try to make smart decisions and not put myself in harm's way or, you know, opportunities that, you know, might not be the best. So how did you feel about the length of time? Did it seem like, you know, okay, Seattle was like 6 days, now we were at 14 days. How did that affect you?
I think the 14 days wasn't really a big issue for me. You know, I mean, for me, and obviously just, you know, just our work schedules, you know, I work during the day, you know, and, you know, there at periods of time, you know, we had a lot of time where you would be gone in the evenings, I'd be gone during the day, so our schedules weren't really aligning where we were like, we were kind of missing each other throughout most of the day until late into the evening. And then so, you know, having my routine of work just kind of kept me on that cadence, and then, you know, having a routine in the evenings that entertained myself when you weren't here, because you might be at work some nights. So I think that helped, right? But, you know, again, I think obviously the concern is, you know, being away from you that long, but having done the 6 days in Seattle, I was comfortable with the time frame. It was 2 weeks, and, you know.
So now,
you know, that doesn't seem. I guess now it doesn't seem like it's a very long time, right?
Well, no. Considering. So, you know, I found this cruise, and I remember seeing it and telling you about it. You know, we were on the phone or something, and I told you about the itinerary. And I heard this excitement in your voice, and I remember you were like, your exact words were, "That sounds amazing." And I said, "Do do you want to go? And you said, no, for you. And I tell people that all the time, that because they're like, what does your husband think about this? Like, you left husband at home? And I said, yeah, he was really excited, but he has no interest in being on a ship more than 7 days.
Yes.
Yeah. And so let's talk about that.
Yeah, it was really interesting, right? I mean, like, I don't know how much you've expressed you've divulged as far as how this cruise came about, right? But again,
as far as about me being a travel agent and completing
the
training and things,
program and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So when you told me about it, and I was like, and the reward for completing all the training and stuff like that, you told me this was an available cruise, that you can use that reward for. I was like, yo, like, why not go for the gusto with it, right? I mean, you might as well. And it sounded amazing, the places you were going to visit, and the South Africa to London and everything, and I would have loved to visit those places, but not for that long time. I 7 days on a cruise ship is probably pushing my level of commitment on being on a boat that long. Right? 7 days. I am a very simple person, and I just enjoy the simple things of chilling and I mean, just back like when we have been on 7-day cruises, there was days where I just spent days in my room watching movies, because I was like, bro, I'm a introverted person, and at times I don't want to be around people.
Yeah.
So I find solace and energy in just being by myself at times. So, and a cruise ship is not for somebody who likes to be alone, because there's people all over the place.
Listen, so the fact that you're talking about that, I have talked about it in previous videos about how there's a difference between solo travel and cruising solo. It is totally different. Like solo travel on land, like what I did in China and Thailand, and how cruising for a woman who is interested in solo travel, it's a great way to dip your feet in the water, because there is something to do. There people will find you, you can find your people, and so while you may have embarked on the sailing by yourself, you're definitely not going to leave that way. So I totally get what you're saying about the overstimulation, and you have to be somewhat intentional about carving out that space, because every solo traveler isn't created equal. I tell people how Seattle was my first intentional solo trip, but the first one that I did was I traveled out the country by myself.
To where?
You've forgotten?
I may have forgotten. Jamaica.
How quickly we forget.
We weren't married then.
No, we weren't. We weren't. But
look, listen. Have you ever told that story on there before?
I don't know.
Well, you probably have told this story, but I'm gonna tell it from my perspective.
Do tell, sir. Do tell.
We were dating, and we had planned a trip to go to Jamaica. It wasn't even a long trip. I think it was maybe 3 to 5 days or something like that.
I think, yeah.
And I don't even recall what it is that we got into it about, but I am
stubborn as all get out.
I stand on business. And whatever it was that we got into it about somehow ended up culminating in me saying, well, then go by your damn self. I ain't going. And she went by herself, and I did not go. And I don't even think we talked during the time while you were there?
No, we didn't. We were straight off. Let me tell y'all talk about, it was not how Stella got her groove back. It wasn't any of that, y'all. It was bittersweet. I said, well, you know what? I done paid this money. I'm going. I done scheduled this time off. I'm going. So, easy. Got on the flight, got there, it was Ocho Rios, so I had like a 2-hour and a half drive from Montego Bay there, just taking it all in. I remember, checking in and then sitting at the restaurant, and y'all, I'm sitting there and I'm like kind of crying. Because it was bittersweet. I was supposed to be there with my guy. It was supposed to be this romantic trip, and I was not mentally prepared to be by myself at all. But I did it. So when it was time, when I was ready to go to Seattle, I was like, oh, this is going to be easy because, I've already had experience traveling by myself, and I'm mentally ready to do this. So, yeah. So.
And FYI, I made up for the Jamaica trip.
Yeah, you did. We went in 2023 and had a beautiful stay at the Excellence Resort and had a great time with some other couples and celebrated T's 40th birthday. It was an awesome experience.
It was funny. Not too long ago, T sent me a photo from the pool with the bar on it. He's like, man, this was a great time. I was like, yo, it was so...
Well,
it was such an amazing time.
It was.
It was like 3
years ago.
Right
now, because
right now.
Yeah.
So it was wild.
And I remember water polo and the teams. And the name, I think the one team chose the porn channel or something. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Wow, that was fun.
Yeah.
But so back to the 6 week, the 6 weeks away, the 33-day cruise. Again, I think when I look at this, right, when you approached me about it, I was excited for you on a lot of different levels. One, I thought it was an amazing trip that you were able to get for the reward for completing the trainings that you had done. I felt as though it was going to be huge for a promotion of the business and the things that you wanted to do. And I thought just the fun part of it and the personal vacation travel part of it was going to be, you get to go to South Africa, you get to go to London, you get to all these ports along the way, you get to spend time on this ship and experience all these things that are on there, and just knowing how you were going to approach it. And I don't even think we had discussed the 100 days to your 50th birthday yet or anything like that. But just knowing that you were going to be creating content off of that, I couldn't wait to see your experience and the content that you created, and even the other things that you didn't post, right? The behind the scenes things you recorded that you didn't post, right? Because I knew you were going to capture a lot of different content, just knowing how you done that. But I was excited for you, and I had recently started a new job, so I didn't even have the time off to be able to take that much time off to go. And the job doesn't allow me to work internationally, so I wouldn't have been able to even offset some of the trip with, saying I'm going to work some days or whatever, like I did.
Yeah,
with,
previous
before.
Vacations, yeah.
And 33 days was going to be a bit much for me. So I think. Again, with this one, obviously you hear about things, and I try not to watch the news too much because it's just a lot of bad things in the news, right? But you hear a lot of things about things going on in Africa and some different places, and so and then given the state of the things that the U.S. is doing, a lot of people seem to not be fond of certain things about us. So there's parts of it where I was concerned about you being gone that long, the places you were going, how safe you were going to be, me not being there I think this was probably the biggest one where I felt like, man, I had to really squelch and push down that urge to be like, man, I don't know if the comfort level I had with this one was probably the lowest of all. But also,
was it because of the length of time?
The various places you were going, the stays that you were going to have outside of the cruise, you know.
Did me being on the ship give you a little bit more comfort?
Yeah, I mean, on the ship, you know, I felt. I mean, and then even more recently with the one cruise ship had the whole outbreak with the
right, that happened right. We were
like, you know, all these things were like, hey, but again, trust and faith in you that you're gonna make the best decisions you can and protect yourself and protect your health and just, you know, position yourself the best you can. I had to trust that, and again, you know, I did. So that's what helped me. That's what helped me cope with those feelings when they would come up. Is that I had faith in you and trust in you to, you know, enough in you to for you to make the decisions you needed to kind of, you know, make sure you were safe. Then you called me, and you're like, yeah, I got the boat and all these people with the cars, and the guy was walking me to the car, and he was like, not this car, over this one.
Oh, like, you're talking about Namibia.
I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, again, I'm like, don't get trafficked while you out there, please. Like, be aware of, like, just, you know, I was like, you were safe, obviously, and I'm like, just be very conscious about these types of things. So don't somebody walking you off somewhere away from everybody to snatch you up or something, you know. But you know, so but I think the part of it that is important is that we can have those conversations.
Yeah.
And understanding that it's coming from a place of love and care and concern, and not me just trying to be overprotective or blow things out of proportion, right?
No, you did. You said, okay, this goes without saying, but please be careful and, you know, mindful. And I said, yep, absolutely. And I think, let me see. So we did Namibia. So that was Namibia. Then we had,
Good morning.
Hey, Dex, good morning.
Glad you're back.
Thank you.
I ain't seen your TikToks yet. I ain't seen.
Oh, you know what? I've only been focused on YouTube, but I'm gonna start. I'm getting it.
See, I'm a fan. I was like, what's going on, Brandy? All right? I don't know what's going on.
We actually sitting here making a video about how he. No, you good, about how he felt about me being gone this long as a husband.
You know, my mom, like, your life is like her story. I ain't heard from Brandy, but I'm gonna get on her because I think she said something about you too.
Yeah. Everything. I'm gonna make some shorts from the YouTube videos, but I could only focus on one platform, and so YouTube was it. Oh, Dex, listen, you got a lot to watch.
It's 100 days on there.
I'm serious. I was like, is Brandy I'll go to come by and say,
that's so funny that you would come out right now. Yep. I'm back. I'm in the living. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, we was praying for you. I was like, man, out of the country get crazy. So
listen, exactly.
Yeah, that's so cool. Thank you.
I'm definitely gonna watch it on YouTube. I'm gonna call my mom and tell her Brandy's all right.
I'm gonna send you the link. All right, Dex, have a good one. Now, we can't play on this stuff. We sit down here talking about this, and then the next door neighbor comes out like, you're alive. You're in the land of the living. Oh, man, that's so cool. That's so, to be loved.
Yeah, I think but no, I think, yeah, that was, that's wild. That's awesome, actually. Another subscriber rating, potentially. No, but yeah, the trip, now I think the time frame was something I had to get accustomed to, because I had to figure out like
the time frame is in the hours.
You're gonna be gone. The time frame that you're gonna be gone, right?
Like the 6 weeks,
right?
Oh,
it's like
okay.
how I was gonna manage that, right? Because
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one.
That's it. You know, again. So if we go back to 6 days in Seattle, the 14 days in Thailand, and Bangkok, and all that stuff, I think I was just kind of able to rely on those and just know, again, I just started a new job, so I had a work schedule to have me out the house 10, 11 hours a day. So it was just important for me that we had established a cadence so that we were going to be able to communicate and keep in touch, you know, routinely. I had my sons here for the summer, so I had things to keep me occupied and to focus on at home while you were away, so that it wasn't like, it's not like I was just sitting here being like, oh man, I don't know what she's doing, you know.
Right.
So it you know, that worked, that helped with it all. But I'm gonna tell you the thing that I'll tell you the thing that made it all kind of tie together for me and made it all like made it had like really helped me over the top. I started to, you know, because we didn't really tell a whole lot of people in the family about what was going on, right? Because it was just kind of like I don't know, it was just something between us, right? Because and I think there was a part of it where I was like, you know, I don't know if I really wanted to field a lot of the questions people were going to ask me about, are you letting your wife, you know, this and the third, because you know, you
didn't really want those opinions and
because our life, what we do is ours, right? And I think, and I've heard you mention it, like, we don't conform to what everybody believes things should be, right? We have to build our life based on what works for us, and it may not look the same for other people or other families, or how we approach things or how we go about them. And sometimes, you know, especially when you have people who have been married or have been in relationships or in long-term relationships, and a lot of their insecurities and a lot of their problems that they have in their relationships, they kind of put them on you when you tell them things that's going on, and then it becomes a conversation about, well, you know, a lot of their insecurities, and it's like, yo, that's not really, like, I don't have those, right? And so it just becomes, you know, it becomes a conversation about something that I really don't want to talk about. And I'm a more private person, which is why y'all don't see me a lot. But she asked me to do this, so I support her in every way I can. But I started telling my some aunts of mine, you know, and they were, you know, some of them were like, oh my gosh, she's gonna be gone that long, I can't believe that. But then there was a group of them who had been married for a long time, who traveled and done things, and they were like, you are such a good man to not let your feelings and emotions and things get in the way of allowing her to go do this. And they were like, a lot of men don't have it in them to allow their wives to go do stuff like that. And you know, and so that resonated strongly with me, because it was like, I support you in every way I can. And if I just because I don't want to do something doesn't mean I should stop you and prevent you from doing something, right? Even something to this extent, you know, as long as we have, you know, and the thing that I think that works well for us is that the partnership we have, that whatever we create a plan of how we're going to do something, how we approach it, and then we can achieve it, right? And so when they told me that's when that reinforced within me that, you know, I wasn't you know, any second guessing I had about, should I do this? Because I had people tell me like, man, how you know, I had friends that be like, yo, I couldn't do that, you know, so I got to be the protector. I got to make sure she okay. And I'm like, I get that. It's like, but if what she needs is space and exploration and travel, and you can't attend it, are you really protecting her by preventing her from going and doing that?
Ooh.
You know, it's like, there's levels of protection that you can have, right? And if I'm prohibiting you from doing things that may protect your peace and your mental and stifle your growth, how am I really protecting you?
Right.
You know, and so I think that's where that really those conversations with my aunts, them telling me that, really kind of just solidified for me that you know, I'm okay with this, and you know, and I wanted you to be able to go and do it, enjoy it. And I mean, hell, I think I was pushing for it. You know, I was like, reserve that so you don't lose a spot.
Yeah, you did.
You know what I mean?
You did.
Like,
you did.
I don't want you, like, even if we can't figure out how to make it work,
yeah,
don't miss out on the opportunity because you didn't reserve the spot.
Right.
You know? And so it was really important for me that you be able to take advantage of this opportunity, if at all possible, that we can make it work. And I definitely didn't want to be. I didn't want to be in the way of. I didn't want to be something in the way of allowing it to happen.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Although like any marriage, we've had our difficulties. The thing that has really worked for us is that our relationship has been rooted in trust, and that has never been an issue. And I think that has really, lended itself for me to be able to do these things and experience them. And how do you think do you see a positive impact on our marriage because I'm able to go and explore on my own, or what are your thoughts about that?
I mean, yeah, for sure, right? Like, I think with anything, right? Like, I think, and we've said this before, and this has always been my philosophy. Like, we are two individuals who came together in a joint union, and just because we're married doesn't mean that we stop being those individuals, right?
Right.
You have things that you like and enjoy, and I partake in those things, and there are things that I like, I enjoy doing, and you partake in those things. But I also enjoy and I'm capable of doing those things by myself if you don't want to do them. Mm-hmm. And I also want you to be able to enjoy and take advantage of the things you like to do, whether I want to join in and do them or not, right?
Yeah.
And so if that means, like with small scale, you like to go out and shop and go when you out in the streets, you like to be out in the streets.
I do.
I like to go, and I'm gonna hit what I need to get and get back. Case in point, if I need to go grocery shopping, I'm not stopping at 4 different places. If BJ's gonna give me 300 cups, and you gonna need 50, you get 300 cups because I'm not stopping 2 places. That's the difference in us. But I think I like going to the movies, sporting events, things of that nature, and you don't always do that with me. But you don't stop me and prevent me from doing those things that I enjoy. And so I'm not going to stop you from doing those things that you enjoy and those things that you need, especially if you express to me that this is what I need. These are the reasons why I need it. And me doing these things helps me be a better partner, better wife, better mother, better person. So I'm going to say no, because I don't want you to be those things.
Right.
I want you to be a worse wife and a worse mother and a worse person and a worse partner. Like, nah. Like, I want you to be the best version of yourself. And if this is what it takes to help you continue to be that, then, Plus, I'm introverted. I like this time that you were gone. I mean, I missed you like crazy, and but like, I didn't have to make the bed every day. I got to eat what I wanted to when I wanted to eat. You know what I mean? Like,
if you didn't want to eat,
if I didn't want to eat, like listen, I love you to death, and I appreciate. I say this with love. I appreciate everything that you do for me. But there are times where you're like, Mister, you got to eat, and I'd be like, I don't feel like eating. But I do it because you make me food with love and I enjoy it. So I eat. But when you ain't here, shit. Like breakfast, maybe. Lunch, nah. Because I'm trying to get out of work as early as I can.
Oh my goodness. Hey, but you maintained your weight. So I'm proud of you.
I didn't lose weight.
No, you didn't.
My weight stayed the same. It's, so quick background. When I met my wife, I weighed a whole 170 something pounds.
I don't even think it was that much. I think it was like 167.
I was maybe. I may have dropped back. Well, because I think I had started playing sports again, so I think I had dropped back down to like 168 or something like that. I'm a whopping 204 right now.
Ooh, that's that love. That's that grown man weight. Yeah. That's that grown man weight.
But I got a Peloton in the basement. I got a bike in the garage. I got a tonal in the rec room. I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to get back down to like 185.
Yeah, whatever.
But I can't make it because all these omelets and burritos and breakfast sandwiches. Enjoyed the time while you were gone for the things I was able to kind of do the way I wanted to do things.
Yeah,
you know? But make no mistake, I definitely enjoy the care and the things that you do for me, even if I don't agree with them all at the time. You know, I know where it's coming from.
Yeah,
right? And so I appreciate it.
Same, mister, same. So y'all, there you have it. That is, our Mr.'s thoughts. So graciously, gave us.
When's your next trip?
Listen, as soon as I get this training finished, I'm about to do it. When I was on the ship, some of the Golden Girls asked me, I think if we had traveled together. And you guys, we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary this past March. And we dated for about 4 years before we got married. So we've been together, like 14 years. And when I started naming off the places, we've been to a lot of places. We've, traveled. Our very first trip was to the Dominican Republic. Well, no. That was our first international trip. The first trip was Gatlinburg. Yeah. And then we've been to Iceland, Alaska, Hawaii, the Mediterranean, Rome, France, Italy.
We did the cruise down to Mexico.
Oh yes, the Mexican Riviera. We did that.
I mean, to your point,
San Francisco, LA. Yeah, we've traveled together quite a bit.
Our wedding was a destination travel wedding.
Right.
And that was an experience. I think you probably talked about that before. But yeah, I mean, so travel. And here's a funnier thing. When we first started dating, right? She wanted to like make all these trips, and I was like, I don't need to travel 2 and 3 times a year. Like, looks is fine. And then here we start traveling 4-5 times a year.
That's where we are, and here I am, safe and sound. I'm amazed. I feel like the time flew by. It did and didn't.
In the beginning, it felt like it was never going to end. Then about halfway through, then it kind of started just like, I think the first couple weeks was just kind of like concern, worry, is everything okay? It was just a lot of thought about it. Then as things started moving and progressing, it's like, okay, now I got work to focus on, I got kids to focus on, I'm trying to get, help Evan get everything situated so he can go back to school. All these things started life started happening, and things kind of started happening that just kind of got you back into the flow of just normal life. And then next thing I know, it's like it's 2 more sleeps. I'm like, wow, it's almost over.
Yeah,
like, you're almost back, And so, look, I'll tell you, the saying, that absence makes the heart grow fonder, is absolutely true. Because, it's been an amazing last few days have been pretty amazing.
With me being back.
So
they like, have.
So it just kind of, so I would definitely recommend that if you have a foundation of trust and faith with each other, and it's something that that either of the partners likes to do, and it's something that they would enjoy, explore the opportunity of a solo travel, allowing someone to solo travel, if that's something that they are inclined to want to do, because it can be it can help and be something that generates something that is needed in both parties, right? Like that time away, allows me to kind of focus on me and re-energize myself and be able to, explore, what it is I want and how I want to do things, right? And even open up like, hey, what are the things I want to do? And what does that look like? And how do I go about that? Or even make me want to like find the next thing that we can do together.
Yeah.
Because now I want to go do something with you. Maybe not as long of a time.
Absolutely.
I just want I want to go to South Africa and go on a safari because that looked like it was dope.
What?
I don't need to be gone, 33 days.
Well, no, we definitely a week. Yeah, we definitely need a week because it's so far and there's so much to see and do, and that flight is so long that you need at least 2 days, a day and a half before you go out, drive the 4 hours west to the game lodge.
Sure, and if we make it over, if we like leave on a Friday, take that weekend, then the week, and then another weekend, right? We could probably put it over like 9 days.
Yeah,
I can mess with that.
You can mess with that.
Yeah.
Say less.
I just got to get them 5 days worked out in the middle.
Say less.
But yeah, I'm definitely that it looked so beautiful, and I was like, and I think that was hard, right? Because I was like, when you first sent me pictures of the lodge and everything going, I was like, man, I want to be there. I was like, but only if I didn't have to be on that cruise. And honestly, what's funny? There was a part of me that thought like, it's like, I wonder what it would cost for me to fly to London to be there with you for a few days and then come back. I thought about it.
Yeah.
But it's things like that because there's all kind of different ways that you can manage it, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe I connect with you on the front end of it and then come back, or connect you on the back end of it, right? Because the cruise is really where I didn't want to be. Yeah. But like England, going to London or going to South Africa, I had no issue with those. And those, we were talking about 3-4 days in each one of those, right?
Yeah.
So that's easy. That was easily within my
capacity
threshold of capacity of being away. So all that said, I definitely encourage anybody who's considering or thinking about it, explore it. Obviously you don't want to start with no 6 week cruise. That's a lot to take on.
Start off small. 6
to 10 days, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It will create some growth and it will show you some things that that I think could be good.
Oh, thanks for sitting down with us, babe, and giving us so much screen time. I appreciate it. You're a natural.
For a while.
We gonna see you. We're gonna go get these manis and petties.
Are we still doing that today?
Yeah, you said you wanted to do it.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, we could go right like now while it's early, and so we could chill. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Amy, thanks for asking the question, but I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow or the next day. Take care.